Hey class, welcome to Unit 6. And this week we're going to extend what we learned in Unit 5, where we were comparing means of two groups when we looked at an independent samples t-test. And now we're going to still be comparing means of quantitative variables, but for more than two groups. And that's where we will use one-way ANOVA to do that. It's actually really easy to do a one-way ANOVA test using Excel. And that's primarily what I'm going to show y'all in this video. So your data set for this week, when you open it, it will look like this. And so notice you've got three groups. You've got a group that all of these numbers represent productivity numbers for employees. And your first column is a group that had no music played while working. The second column is a group that had music, particular set music that was played. And the third column is where music was played, where the employees had their choice of music. So you've got three data sets. We'll be comparing the mean productivity between all three of these groups. So first thing is you're going to go type your name in the green box when you open up this Excel workbook. Press enter, and it should change up all of these numbers. And just as you've been doing throughout the course, you're going to want to copy, in order to keep these from changing since they're randomly generated, you're going to want to copy these. So take your mouse, click and drag over all of the columns, control copy, and then you are going to want to open up a new Excel workbook. And you will do, instead of doing Control V, remember you're going to do Paste Special. So you're going to come on over here and click on Paste, but do Paste Special. If it gives you this pop-up, that's okay. Just click OK. And it should paste it. It will not have the colors transfer over. That's okay. So it'll paste it where you have these three columns. And here is how you will actually conduct the one-way ANOVA. You will need to use the data analysis tool pack. Hopefully all of you installed that in Unit 1. If you did not, there's a video back in the Unit 1 videos that you'll need to watch and make sure you get the data analysis tool pack installed. But otherwise, if you already installed it back in Unit 1 and you've got it on your within your Excel program, then we're just going to come up here and click Data. And you should see Data Analysis. Now, of course, if you don't see Data Analysis over here, that means you don't have it installed, and you will just rewatch the video and install it again. So Data Analysis. And since we are conducting a one-way ANOVA, it's called one-way because we have one independent variable and one dependent variable. The quantitative variable is our dependent, and the grouping variable is our independent. So I'll come up here at the very top where it says ANOVA single factor. Single factor because we have one independent variable. So we'll click on this, click OK, and it will bring up this pop-up. For the input range, which is where the cursor is blinking right now, you want to take your mouse and click and drag over all three columns at one time. And leave it on grouped by columns because our three groups are grouped by columns rather than rows. Since we do have labels in the top row, then we need to make sure we click this. Alpha is already preset at 0.05. Leave it at that standard level. And I want my output to go in this same sheet. So in order to make that happen, rather than it going to a different sheet or to a different workbook, I'm going to click on Output Range. But then I need to click my mouse inside this box, and wherever I want it to paste my ANOVA output, then I click my mouse in that cell. So I'm going to go ahead and just click right here, which means it's going to begin to paste the ANOVA output starting in cell G8. You can put it wherever you want to, but there's just some nice white space right here, and it's honestly not going to take up too much room. Once you have gone through and put all that stuff in, then I'm going to click OK. And that's how easy it is to generate your one-way ANOVA output. I'm going to stretch out these columns a little bit just to make sure everything is showing up that I need to, and also to stretch out where it says source of variation. Get that stretched out a little bit to where everything's lined up. And all I'm doing is coming up here, putting my mouse right between where the, like the H and the I are. You can always stretch out columns this way. And this is your ANOVA output. We will, in the discussion, we will be talking about your test statistic, which is right here. It's an F distribution that we use. So rather than a t-test, it's an F test, and that's your F test statistic. There's your p-value. And really, with looking at those two numbers, you're going to be able to make your conclusions, and we will be able to discuss that in the discussion to hope that you are understanding the ways to interpret those particular values. You've also got your three groups up here. Each one had 31 productivity values in it. Here are the means of the three groups, and here are the variances. So this is definitely one piece of output that you're going to want to save as an image and insert this image into your discussion response for your Unit 6 discussion. Because since everybody's getting randomly generated numbers, then we're going to have different results. So it will be interesting to see the different results that we all get. So I am going to now highlight it. You don't have to highlight it, but I like nice colors. So I'm going to highlight that, come up here to home, and fill it with, say, we'll go with this color, whatever color you want. And so I'm going to then go to the snipping tool, use the snipping tool. So come down here, search my snipping tool, or, like I said, you may want to have it saved. I've said this in other videos where you may just want to have it saved on your tray so you can access it easily. So snipping tool, click new. And so I would go ahead and just snip this, just the ANOVA output, and save it as an image. So, file, save as, wherever you want to save it. And, maybe call it Unit 6 ANOVA output, or just something like that, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you'll have that. That'll be part of what you insert in your response. The other thing is that you will want to save this Excel file so that you can upload this and attach it so that me as well as your classmates will have this data that we can easily run through and check the ANOVA if we want to. All right. So make sure that you save this Excel file and attach it. Now, of course, your images, it's nice to insert those directly in the response to make it easy for us to read and see your results. But save this Excel spreadsheet so that we have the raw data here with these 3 columns of data. Now, in part H of the discussion, you will be asked to go back and use StatKey to construct either dot plots of the 3 groups, histograms, or box plots. And remember back several weeks ago in Unit 2, you learned how to do those plots. Excel does plots, but they're much more difficult to do, and it does not really have the ability to do like 3 groups in 1 plot like StatKey does. So here's the main issue with StatKey is, remember with StatKey, you can only upload CSV files. You cannot upload a regular Excel file. And another big difference is you cannot have the data in these 3 separate columns. So the next thing I'm going to walk you through is how to take your data, these numbers, get them in another Excel workbook that you're going to save as a CSV file, and make sure that it's in the appropriate format so that StatKey can read it and you can get your plots easily done. So let me show you how to do that now. I already have provided for you a Unit 6 graph Excel workbook. And so you've got that available. Here's what it looks like. So that all you really have to do is copy and paste your numbers from the no music column, then your numbers from the music set column, and then the numbers from the music choice column. So it's easy to do. Since I've already provided this for you, I'm just going to go right back to my first column of no music. I don't need the label because I've already got the labels done for you. So just click and drag down the first column of numbers on your other Excel workbook. Click Control Copy, and then start up here at cell A2 and click Control V. You don't need to worry about Paste Special because you already paste special these numbers, so they will not check. They should not change. Then we're going back to the music set column, column B. And again, only copy the numbers, not the label. Control copy on those. And then at the music set, we'll start and go Control V. And then back to our Excel spreadsheet, the music choice numbers, click and drag, Control copy on that third column, and start your mouse here, click your mouse here, Control V. And you've got everything that you need. Notice it's lined up the way it should be. If something's not lined up, then it means something has gone wrong with your copy pasting. And all we need to do now, it's ready to go in StatKey, but all I need to do is make sure I now save this as a CSV file. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As. I'm going to save this to my desktop, but whatever is most convenient for you. And I'm going to change the Save As type from Excel Workbook to a CSV file. So it should say CSV, comma delimited right there. I'm going to save that. And now you are ready to go to StatKey. Website has been provided for you. And once again, this is one quantitative and one categorical. Our quantitative is the productivity. Those numbers represent productivity. Our categorical variable is just music. We have 3 levels of that, but just one categorical variable is basically the music type. So I'm going to click right here, one quantitative and one categorical. I'm going to go to Upload File. And I am going to go to Desktop where I've saved this. I've got it as a CSV file listed as Unit 6 Discussion Graphs file. And I'm going to click on that. And here's exactly what I wanted, my productivity numbers and my groups. So please select one quantitative variable first, that's productivity. Click your mouse there to where it highlights those numbers. And then the categorical, click where it says group and click OK. Those are your dot plots. It also gives you your summary statistics, but you also had those when you got your Excel ANOVA output. But pick the graph you feel like you can talk the most about. Histograms probably a little bit easier to talk about, or even box plots, because box plots just show the 5-number summary. It just shows the main features. And it's often easier to see which group appears higher or lower when you look at a box plot. And whichever graph you choose, you're going to use your snipping tool. Make sure you get the names of these groups over here on the far left. So start your snip far enough over here on the left so that you can get these labels as well as the numbers on the horizontal axis. You'll save that image as well, and then you'll be able to easily insert your ANOVA output that you saved as an image, as well as these graphs that you will also save as an image, and it should be a quick and easy insert into your response box. So hopefully that's helpful for you to do your one-way ANOVA this week in Unit 6.